So today is a cleanup day in the front yard garden. I pulled out a bunch of stuff with the help of a little kid here, a couple little kids, and I'm gonna try to plant some more stuff and put some amendments into the soil. Planted my echinacea in the ground instead of having it in a planter. So let me just show you what we got. So I pulled out all of those broccolis. I have one more that I need to pull out right there. I pulled out my kohlrabi. I pulled out the lettuce that was going to seed in this bed, and then I trimmed back all of the calendula that was really leggy right here.
Look at that yellow jacket.
Over here, we pulled out all of the potatoes last week. You can watch the short here. I'll link it above. But today we're going to be pulling out some of these big onions. Look at how nice and giant they are. They are folding over, which means they are ready to come out of the ground. And then over here, I'm going to be pulling out that lettuce that's going to seed right there. I've got a few of these cabbages that aren't heading that I'm going to pull out. I pulled out my chamomile right there. And in this bed, I pulled out all the kale that was here. That we had some purple cabbage there that wasn't heading. And then we had a bunch of broccoli here that I pulled out that it was done. And then I'm going to leave this here. It's going to seed and the insects really love it. So I'm going to keep it and maybe save the seeds for next year. While I'm watering, I'm going to amend the soil with some bone meal, some blood meal, and some Azomite. Let's see. We've got Azomite, blood meal, and bone meal. I've been a busy little bee. I have been trimming back my grapes. They were kind of attaching to everything around here. And then I chopped back a bunch of my cherry tree here because I wanted to try and let some light in for the apple tree here. It still isn't getting a ton of light, so I might cut down that whole branch right there. I'm tempted to cut down the tree, but I think I'm going to keep it because the boys like to climb on it. So I also need to tie back my raspberries because they are falling into the yard here. You can see they're like falling over, so I need to attach them to the fence. What we did in here, my tomatoes are growing so big, but what I did in here is I've been cutting all the raspberries back that are done. So I've got a bunch of yard debris that I have to take care of. That big pile right here is of chopped raspberries. But been busy working. Look at these tomatoes. These tomatoes are getting giant. I know by looking at this one as it grows that is a Chardonnay, Napa Chardonnay one. So I'm super stoked about that. I want to say that these are bigger tomatoes, so hopefully I'll see what kind they are pretty soon. Yeah, so all of this, you can actually see through though, which is nice. They should be ripening. They should ripen better. And there, they've got so much more light now that I trimmed all those back, so boom. I also pulled out this Spanish lavender that was dead here, and I'm thinking of planting some seeds, some lavender seeds here, because I just love how the lavender looks in the alley. It's just pretty. I'm gonna go out in the garden again this morning and plant the seeds that I didn't get to yesterday. And then I will take you around and show you what I've got going on. Got some yummy strawberries this morning. That one's not quite ready. They're so good. So this year, my hops is looking a little sad, and I'm not quite sure why. All of the leaves down here are like turning brown and falling off. So I'm not sure what is happening. If there's an insect getting to it. Like you can see these leaves here. They just like lose their color and then they fall off. See? They turn brown. Also, all of the cucumbers that I planted on this side, they got eaten by something. See that? What I'm noticing is that I don't think that the compost that I got last year was fully ready, because over the top of all of my beds, there's this layer of like bark chips, and it does attract a lot of these little, those little bugs there, and roly-polies. So that's a bummer. I think that has something to do with the growth of the plants. I just trimmed some of the big leaves off of my Romas just so that they have enough airflow to last all season. Got quite a few coming on already. It's so beautiful.